Hello again, everybody.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, the curtain falls. Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Brought in left side by Snead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but
pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack.
All right, here we go.
Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture of the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
They'll set up a throw. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The numbers for Howard a week ago: 10 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
This is Howard on 2nd down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs at defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The face mask moves them all the way out past the 40 now for first down.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They'll run the counter with Collins. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. Now the starting lineup here defensively for Pittsburgh. And they're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
He's going to loft it deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. If I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to him because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
On second down, Collins. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Jackson from the shotgun. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
They go play action here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct. And what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's Collins. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Jackson on first down. Drops it underneath for Collins. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Now a give to Collins. Stops short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now it's Jackson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2. Got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, pace, money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that last,
that throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. They'll drop to throw. And a grab over the middle by Stocker. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-6 our score. We're back to Baltimore after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go. Green 39. Green.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer. Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point. On play action, they'll throw. Fighting him off. Over the middle here to Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. Brown, his first catch. It's a 1st down. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though he threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me, partner.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
This is Collins on the handoff. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. They run with Collins. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. A give to Howard. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds up around the 14-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that's going to push him back half the distance.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now Howard. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Open man, it's Stocker. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
They run with Howard, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. And it's 3rd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it. And he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw is Jackson. Caught left side to Crabtree. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. A right side catch by Crabtree. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
On 1st and goal, Collins. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Here
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He leaves this one for Howard. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL scheme. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And the Steelers signal for another timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. With it is Brown. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask. Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And he comes back with one complete. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead as those two teams approach halftime. Doug Baldwin, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Redskins trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the step.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Back to throw now on first down. Forced out to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10. Even worse, an interception.
Running with Howard. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll set up a throw. They'll set up the screen to Howard, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard, 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Here's Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket, and he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And again, it's Collins. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4. And that's blocked. The Steelers get it. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. And he's got Rodgers. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Let's go. Blue landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Now Jackson on 1st down, throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Throwing is Jackson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, Jackson. Snead's got it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yard.
Under pressure, he's going to go down. Look at this, way back around the 43. Bud Dupree in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Connor. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way.
Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And on to their lead. so another score there. And often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter.
Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne and try to knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Here's Sam Cook now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Now Brown. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All right, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
False start, offense.
Well, maybe he was going to be involved in that play from his tight end spot, and he jumped.
Yeah, don't tell me that those guys don't like to block. That's what we say about them nowadays in the NFL. But I think he felt he was one of the key pieces in that play and wanted to get out and execute the assignment very fast.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7 on the ground. That trims it to a 3rd and 15 situation. Back to throw here. Stocker's got it. Complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now it's Connor. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again, it's Connor. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. That'll bring up second down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
To throw is Jackson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those pass like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On third down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Brown with his stick skills. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
The drive will start with Connor. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On 2nd down, Jackson. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They start with a give to Connor. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Pittsburgh, they do finish things out with a victory here in the final week, but the victories were few and far between as they'll end the year 5-0.